Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. We have more gaming and PlayStation news, rumours and leaks to go over. If you enjoyed today's video, please show your support by hitting that like button. And don't forget to tune into the PlayStation podcast every Sunday at 7 PM UK time. So there's been a lot of excitement lately around the Red Dead Redemption series, and it's coming straight from the people who helped bring these beloved characters to life. It all started when Rob Whitehoff, the voice behind John Marston in both Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2, casually dropped a teaser during a recent live stream. He mentioned that he had some exciting news on the way, something fans quickly took to be a nod towards the franchise. Not long after, Roger Clark, who portrayed Arthur Morgan, one of the most iconic characters ever created in gaming history, goes on to add fuel to the fire. When a fan asked him on social media platform X if he knew what this exciting news was about, Clark simply replied with yes, along with a gif of a dog giving a sly, knowing smile. It didn't stop there. Rocher Dalal, who voiced the character of Charlie in the game, jumped in too, posting his own teasing GIF response. The fact that multiple cast members of Red Dead Redemption are chipping in has only deepened the speculation around what is happening. Now, naturally, this has the internet and fans of Red Dead Redemption spinning with theories. One of the most talked about possibilities is a current gen upgrade or patch for Red Dead Redemption 2. Many players have been waiting for Rockstar to bring the game up to speed for newer consoles like the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox. While that would make a lot of sense, there still is the chance that this is not about to happen at all. It could be something completely different, like a new project, an animated series, a documentary, or even some kind of live performance or a retrospective involving the original cast. It's also worth noting that Rockstar Games is known for keeping things close to their chest. The company enforces strict non-disclosure agreements, so if there really was new in-game content or a remaster or an update in the works, the actors wouldn't normally be allowed to drop these kinds of hints. That's part of what makes all this so curious. Something is clearly happening, but it's hard to say exactly what. To give some context, Red Dead Redemption 2 originally launched back in October 2018 for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, and later it arrived on PC in November 2019. And despite its age, the game still enjoys a massive and loyal fanbase. It is still regarded as one of the best games ever made and holds up visually against any recent game release. There's even talk of the game making its way to Nintendo's upcoming console, the Switch 2. Take-Two Interactive, Rockstar's parent company, recently confirmed that it's planning to support the Switch 2 in a very big way. CEO Strauss Zelnick said in an interview that they aim to be more active on the Nintendo platform than ever before. Titles like Borderlands 4, WWE 2K and NBA 2K are all lined up for release on the Nintendo Switch 2. This could also open the door for Red Dead Redemption 2 to finally make its debut on the Nintendo system, which would be a first for the Red Dead Redemption 2 game. So whether it's a remaster, a new game, a patch, or something completely new, all signs are pointing towards a big Red Dead Redemption announcement in the near future. And with multiple cast members teasing it, fans have every reason to be very, very excited. And don't forget, rumours and reports of a Red Dead Redemption 2 patch or a remaster, an update of some kind, have been coming out and leaking or being reported on for well over a couple of years now. Every now and again, some piece of news or a tidbit of information seemingly slips out. And as they say, there's no smoke without fire, right? So either way, we're supposed to find out this week what all this is about. So fingers crossed, we find out by Friday this week. Guys, what do you think it could be? Let me know in the comments down below, and let's move on. Now, if you're getting ready for Death Stranding 2 on the beach, but find yourself a little bit foggy in the events of the first game, you're not alone. It's been over 5 years since the original Death Stranding was released, and Kojima Productions has stepped in to help. They recently dropped a concise but effective recap video just over 6 minutes long, which you can see being played in the background. The recap video walks through key moments of Sam Porter-Bridges' journey. In the recap, we see how Sam, played by Norman Reedus, starts out delivering packages across a post-apocalyptic United States. Early in the game, he's assigned a bridge baby, and despite initial reluctance, he slowly forms a strong emotional bond with it. Throughout the story, Sam faces off against threats like the BTs, which are the game's ghost-like enemies, and antagonists like Higgs, all the while working to reconnect isolated cities through something called the chiral network. That concept of reconnection isn't just a game mechanic, it's a big part of the game's message. And in the upcoming sequel, for Death Stranding 2, Sam will take on a similar mission but on a global scale. This time, it's not just about the United States. He'll be trying to rebuild connections in places like Mexico and Australia, but there's more going on behind the scenes of the new game than just the story. Now, according to musician and composer Johan Limone, better known as Woodkid, the creative process for Death Stranding 2 took an interesting turn during game development. In a recent interview with Rolling Stone, he shared a moment when Hideo Kojima himself came to him with some unexpected news. Kojima reportedly told Woodkid, "We have a problem." At first it sounded like a bad thing, but it turned out the issue was that the test players were enjoying the game far too much. Now that might sound strange, but to Kojima, this is a red flag. He felt the game was becoming too accessible and might be losing its unique emotional edge. In response to everybody enjoying the game, he started making changes. Kojima started altering parts of the script and adjusting key events in the game to make it more challenging, more emotionally intense, and more thought-provoking. Kojima's vision has always been about pushing boundaries, not just creating something that pleases everybody. As he puts it, if everyone likes it right away, that probably means it's too safe, it's too mainstream. He wants people to wrestle with the game emotionally and come to love it over time, even if it doesn't fully click on the first playthrough. This approach lines up with what Kojima has said in past interviews, where he's emphasized his goal of creating the art that stirs deep, sometimes conflicting emotions. He doesn't want to play it safe, and Death Stranding 2 looks like it's going to follow that same philosophy. With the game just around the corner, fans are eagerly awaiting to see how all these creative decisions will come together. Whether you loved the first game or found it a little bit too out there, it's clear Death Stranding 2 is going to be another unique and ambitious entry in Kojima's legacy. I really like what Kojima is doing here. The whole thing about if everyone likes it, then it's too safe. You know what? I like games that take a risk, and I like the fact that he's putting himself out there again and trying something different. Okay, it's a sequel, but it's still different. It's a niche game, right? And I love that. I love the fact that some games are a little bit different. Perhaps it's the art style or the way the game plays, maybe the story's a little bit quirky, and it's already got me fascinated. And the good thing is that there's only 1 week to go before the game actually comes out. I cannot wait for this one, guys. How are you guys feeling about Death Stranding 2? Let me know in the comments, and let's move on. Pearl Abyss, the studio known for Black Desert Online, recently shared a big update during an interview with Money Today Broadcasting in South Korea. They confirmed that Crimson Desert is targeting a release date of November the 2nd, 2025. Well, there you have it, November the 2nd. Now, it's important to note that this wasn't announced through a global press release, at least not yet. However, it's not a rumor because this has come straight from the developers in an official interview, which makes it a pretty reliable source for now, unless something massively changes behind the scenes. Crimson Desert was originally planned as a prequel to Black Desert Online, a well-known MMORPG that's still popular today. But as development went on, the team decided to take things in a different direction. What started as a backstory project eventually grew into a full-blown standalone game set in the same universe, but with a completely new storyline and gameplay style. The game is set in a world called Hyrule, a gritty medieval-style fantasy land. Players take on the role of Cliff, a hardened mercenary who's not just fighting battles out in the field, but also dealing with personal struggles and memories from a troubled past. Unlike Black Desert, which leaned heavily into online multiplayer and massive battles, Crimson Desert seems to be focusing more on story-driven gameplay, action, and exploration, though some online features could still be in the mix. From what I've seen so far, the game will offer an open-world experience filled with dynamic combat, environmental interactions, and a narrative that puts real weight on the choices you make in the game. If Pearl Abyss sticks to that November the 2nd release, we could be just months away from getting our hands on one of the year's most anticipated RPGs. Absolutely hyped for Crimson Desert. Ever since I saw the first gameplay demo back in, I think 2020 or 2021, it was at the Game Awards. Cannot wait for this one. And I'm also hyped for this next game. Some of you may agree, some of you may not, but over at EA, the next entry in the Battlefield franchise is still very much in the works. While we don't have an exact release date just yet, there will be a full reveal scheduled for this summer. This was confirmed by Andy McNamara, who's the Senior Director of Communications for the Battlefield series. When asked on social media if fans could expect news soon, he replied with a playful, "We got things brewing." and added that the team is focusing on internal testing and preparing for the big reveal. So even though we might not get an announcement this month, it's coming very soon. Now, in terms of when the game might actually be launching, EA has said it will arrive before March 2026, which lines up with the end of their current financial year. That gives the developers some time, but it also suggests the game is fairly far along in development. What's especially interesting about this new Battlefield title is the direction the developers are taking. Members of the team have already said that the single-player campaign is drawing inspiration from some unexpected sources, including horror sci-fi series Dead Space and even historical themes from the Civil War era. That's a pretty unusual combination, so I'm fascinated to see how the single-player campaign plays out. But it does signal that EA is trying to bring something new and something different to the table for this game, instead of just repeating the same modern warfare formula. The game is also being developed by a collaborative team known as the Battlefield Studios, which brings together several of EA's top development studios. This includes DICE, Ripple Effect Studios, Criterion Games, and EA Motive. Each of these teams has different strengths. DICE is known for its shooter mechanics, Criterion brings experience with high-energy action visuals, while Motive has worked on more narrative-driven games. Together, they're building what EA has described as a massive, ambitious project. On the gameplay side, the new Battlefield will reportedly include advanced destruction mechanics, something that the series is known for and looks like is going back to its roots. This will likely mean that players can expect buildings to crumble, the terrain to shift, and large-scale environments that can change during combat, adding another layer of extra chaos and strategy to multiplayer matches. The game is currently deep in the playtesting phase, which is a good sign that things are moving along steadily towards completion. If the feedback from these tests is strong, the game could end up being one of the better received entries in the franchise, especially after the mixed response that Battlefield 2042 received. So guys, how are you feeling about Battlefield 6? I personally feel we need another shooter to challenge Call of Duty on that scale and on that size. I'm fed up with Call of Duty right now, so I would welcome Battlefield 6 with open arms. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments about the content discussed in the video today, and I'll catch you on the next video.